Hey everyone, You Choose View here with you again today. Today we're going to be looking at the Breville BOV800XL toaster oven. This is the highest reviewed oven on Amazon right now. It's going for $250. You can get it other places though, like Bed Bath & Beyond, and there you could use the 20% off coupon. Even though the coupon says you're not supposed to use it on Breville products, they usually accept it anyways. So taking a look at the outside here, you can see it kind of has this brushed metal finish, and that's kind of consistent throughout the whole thing. And on the sides here are the controls. You can see it's got a function switch, or function knob, a temperature knob, a time knob, a frozen button, depending on if you're cooking frozen things, a Fahrenheit to Celsius button, so if you have someone who uses Celsius or Fahrenheit, they can switch that back and forth pretty easy. Convection on and off button, and then the start and cancel button. So on the front here, with a lot of toaster ovens, some people have issues with their toaster oven's handles getting very hot. This one does not at all. I've had it at 400 degrees, 450 for 30 minutes toasting or cooking things, and it doesn't get hot whatsoever. So that's a non-issue with this thing. It's great. When you open the door here, it's got a pretty nice weight to it, but if you live in a quiet place, you might want to be aware of this. It auto closes here, and it kind of slams, as you can hear that. So if you are toasting late at night or something like that, or you just don't want to wake someone up, just be cautious of this and make sure you close it on your own. And I want to show you something on the controls here. So right now the light is off, and so that means it's kind of like asleep. One thing to note about this is if you turn the knob, it takes a second before any of the other knobs start working. So like if I do this, I start turning right away, it doesn't change for a second. So, well, you guys didn't see that, but basically just trust me on that. It takes a second before the knobs start reacting to your commands. So again, if you're not in a you shouldn't be in a rush anyways, but just give you guys a heads up on that. So here we'll look at the inside here in a second. Okay, so before I open the oven, I want to show you guys kind of the rack levels that this thing has. Here, the low levels for baking, roasting, reheating, warming. The middle one is for toasting, cookies, bagels, and pizzas. And the top level is for broiling. So if you open it up, just pull this out, and you can change the level pretty easily here. The top level is here. One thing to note is the middle level only has magnets on the door, and so it'll automatically open when you open the handle. Now watch this. So, ta-da! Pulls the rack out a little bit. I personally do not like this at all. I've seen a whole bunch of these around, and the most notable one was at a Bed Bath & Beyond, where the metal on the grate was worn out. The chrome was worn out, and it also was wearing into the metal, because as you pull it out, the magnets grind against the steel on the grate, and it just wears out both things, and it starts looking ugly after a while. And I don't think it's a feature. It's kind of a negative in my opinion. And the worst thing is it's not even on all of the racks, so it doesn't pull them all out right, like a little bit. Just the middle one. So it's a weird feature. I don't like it, but hey, it's there. Something I want to show you though is, although it doesn't say it on the website, I don't think, this thing will fit a 9x13 pan. But one caveat though is that it has to be pretty darn close to exactly 9 inches by 13 on the outside dimensions. As you can see here, there's not much space here, and this is a Calphalon 9x13 non-stick pan, and it fits great. I mean, just fine. A little bit of space on each side, but if you get a cake pan or something, make sure it doesn't have handles, and make sure it doesn't taper out too far, because at most it might be like 13 1/4, 13 1/2 at absolute most on the actual length. And also in the video you can kind of see the concave insides, and that's to fit the 13-inch pizza pan that is included. Otherwise, it has to be round. Otherwise, an actual 9-inch thing or a 13-inch length thing will not fit. It's the window there. So just keep heads up on that. So yeah, the pan has to be really close to 13 inches wide. Nothing is on the top setting here. This is the broil setting. It fits a large 10-inch cast iron pan perfectly. Slides right in. and door closed. So if you're broiling something or whatever, it fits perfectly in there. That's a pretty cool feature. Don't know how much I'll be using it, but it's cool to know that it fits. But like I said, most likely I will keep this at the bottom setting here. So there's that, and then I'll kind of go over the rest of the oven in a second here. Alright, so I kind of want to give you guys a better look at the LCD screen here and the way it kind of works. You can see on the top it says toast, bagel, bake, roast, broil, pizza, cookies, reheat, warm. I gotta admit, I mostly just use the normal bake setting, then I just set the temperature for whatever is recommended. You can use the special settings if you want. I just haven't come across a need for them just yet. A little bit of an annoyance for me is on the upper settings for some reason, it's not a full click to get to the next setting. So like right here, it'll kind of like switch over to bagel and bake without a click, and then an actual full click goes all the way to toast. So you can see how just a little bit of turn makes it change, and then full click is 3. So that doesn't happen for all of them. Like something's down here, pizza, that's a click. So maybe that's just my oven. Maybe it's all of them. I don't know. It's a little bit of an annoyance for me, but not a huge issue. Another thing I want to talk about real quick is that this thing heats up to 400 degrees in about 5 minutes, and that's pretty quick in my opinion. And it's 9 by 13 inch pan will feed up to 2 people pretty well, and 1 person great. So having this size is great for if you live in an apartment, which is what I'm doing. Another thing people are talking about is that for some reason the convection fan, they say it makes a lot of noise. It makes a weird hum. I'm gonna turn it on here, and you'll be able to hear the fan. In my opinion, pretty much anything in your kitchen makes more noise. I mean, just the refrigerator, the motor on the refrigerator, the compressor, makes more noise than this thing. I normally have it next to my fridge, and when 10 feet away, you don't even hear this thing running. And if you have the fridge running, you'll hear that, and you won't hear this thing at all. So I'll just turn it on here, and you guys can hear what it sounds like. So when it's preheating, it says preheating on the top there, and it turns amber. So yeah, I'll let you hear it. And you can probably hear just a little bit there, but like I said, it's not that noise at all, and it's really a non-issue for this oven. So I'm just gonna shut it off here. And one other thing I need to note is, once it's done preheating, the timer will instantly start dropping. So the moment that's done preheating, it'll turn blue, and the timer will start going down right away. There's no letting it sit at 400 and just keeping the preheating. Just once it's done, it doesn't turn the timer on. It turns the timer on right away. So just keep that in mind. If you like to preheat the oven, then you do something like 5 minutes, and then you come back and the oven time is already down 2-3 minutes. So just keep that in mind if you tend to do things when the ovens are preheating. But what's nice is that you can you can turn the time up and down on the fly. So that kind of fixes it, makes it easy. But like I said, it's just a little bit of an annoyance, especially when I'm cooking things that are low in time cooking. Like 7-minute things, just toast it real quick, or just bake it up real quick. It gets a little bit annoying because it turns on and you already lose a minute. You're like, oh great, I have to turn up the time again. So so keep that in mind. And it's not a huge issue, but it's something that I wish you could say preheat, and then it'll beep, of course, and then it lets you know it's done preheating. But I wish it would just stay there, and then once you put your food in there, you can hit the time button, or hit a little button that says actually start counting down. So just keep that in mind. Not a big deal. And that's what it. So it'll normally turn back to blue when it's actually cooking. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, there you go, guys. Just kind of my overview and a little bit of a review on the Breville BOV800XL toaster oven. I really like it. It's a little bit expensive, but overall it's produced really good quality results. It's got its convection. It's a great oven, and I recommend you guys get one if you guys can afford it. So yeah, there you go.